After a long journey, we finally arrived in Kruger National Park. This is our self-drive safari through one of Africa's most iconic wildlife destinations. We arrived at Skukuza rest camp in the early afternoon. After checking in and taking a moment to soak in the atmosphere, there was only one thing on our minds: getting out into the bush. And it didn't take long for Kruger to surprise us. During our very first drive, we received a tip from another visitor. Just a little further down the road, 2 lions had been spotted resting in the grass. Naturally, we headed straight there. As we approached, 2 lions came into view, completely relaxed and seemingly unbothered by the world around them. They may be Africa's most iconic predators, but they're also masters of doing absolutely nothing. Still, there's something special about seeing them in the wild. So sit back, enjoy the moment, and join us as we spend some time with these wonderfully lazy kings of the African bush. This visit feels different from our previous trips to Kruger. In the past, we explored the park during September and October, at the end of the dry season. But this time, we're here in April. The difference is striking. The bush is lush and vibrant, painted in shades of green in every direction. It creates a completely different safari experience. The scenery is breathtaking. The atmosphere feels alive, and around every corner, there's a sense of discovery. We know that finding animals can be a little more challenging when water is abundant and the vegetation is dense. In Kruger, you don't decide what you'll see. The park reveals its stories in its own time. And over the coming days, we'll simply follow the roads, embrace the unexpected, and see what this beautiful, green, water-rich wilderness has in store for us. There's something magical about an early morning in Kruger. As the sun slowly rises above the horizon, golden light filters through the trees, casting long shadows across the bush. The air is cool, the park is waking up, and for a brief moment, everything feels perfectly still. This morning isn't about chasing the big 5. It's about appreciating everything that makes this place so special. Along the way, we're treated to a wonderful variety of wildlife and the breathtaking beauty of the African wilderness. Every sound, every movement, every ray of sunlight adds to the experience. Safari isn't only about the animals you find. Sometimes it's about slowing down, taking in your surroundings, and simply being present in nature. So for the next few moments, we'll let the sights and sounds of Kruger speak for themselves. As the morning draws to a close, the bush begins to slow down. The temperature rises quickly, often climbing well into the 30s, and many animals retreat to the shade to escape the heat of the day. Activity becomes scarce, and even the wilderness seems to take a moment to rest. And honestly, so do we. After a wonderful morning out in the park, it's time to head back to camp, relax, and enjoy the slower pace that safari life naturally brings. One of the things we love most about Kruger isn't just the wildlife, it's the rhythm of life here. Early mornings, peaceful afternoons, evenings spent soaking in the atmosphere of the African bush. As the day comes to an end, there's no better way to finish it than with a traditional braai. Good food, the sounds of nature in the background, and the last warm light of the day slowly fading across the landscape. And then, just when you think the day couldn't get any better, Kruger delivers one final gift. A beautiful African sunset. The sky transforms into a canvas of gold, orange, and deep red, bringing another unforgettable day in the bush to a perfect close. Today, we're heading south towards Afzaal Picnic Site, where a well-earned coffee and a slice of cake are waiting for us later this morning. But first, we're making a stop at one of our favorite viewpoints in this part of the park, Sabie Viewpoint. Sometimes safari isn't just about the animals, it's about moments like this. As we arrive, the landscape stretches out before us, covered by a delicate layer of morning mist. The first rays of sunlight slowly break through, painting the bush in soft shades of gold. It's quiet, peaceful, almost timeless. After our coffee stop, it's time to make our way back towards Skukuza. The roads are quiet today, but that's all part of the safari experience. Not every drive is filled with dramatic sightings, and that's exactly what makes each encounter feel special. Along the way, we're fortunate to spend some time with a few elephants. They are incredibly relaxed, calmly feeding and moving through the bush, allowing us to observe them from a respectful distance. Moments like these never get old. No matter how many times you see elephants in the wild, there's always something captivating about their size, their presence, and the gentle way they interact with their surroundings. We also come across a variety of birds throughout the drive. Some are little more than distant silhouettes perched high in the trees, while others give us a much closer look, revealing the colors and details that make Kruger's bird life so rewarding. Overall, it's been a fairly quiet day by safari standards. But that's the beauty of being out here. Not every day is about ticking animals off a list. Sometimes it's simply about being in the bush, enjoying the scenery, appreciating the smaller moments, and embracing whatever nature chooses to share with you. And honestly, days like these can be just as memorable. After a slightly later lunch at the Skukuza Golf Club, we made our way back to camp for a relaxed afternoon. One of the things we enjoy about staying in Kruger is that the safari experience doesn't stop when you leave the roads. Even inside the camp, wildlife is never far away. While wandering around, I ended up making a few feathered friends. Some of Kruger's birds are surprisingly confident around people, giving us a chance to appreciate their colors, personalities, and behavior up close. The rest of the afternoon was exactly what a safari day should be sometimes, slow and uncomplicated. We took a walk around the camp, explored a few corners we hadn't seen before, picked up some supplies, and simply enjoyed being here. There's no rush in Kruger. Part of the experience is learning to slow down and embrace the rhythm of the bush. As the heat of the day gradually faded, the atmosphere changed once again. The sounds of the camp softened, the light became warmer, and everyone seemed to pause for one of nature's daily spectacles. Just like the evenings before, Kruger treated us to another stunning sunset. The sky slowly transformed into shades of gold, orange, and crimson, bringing a peaceful end to another wonderful day in the African wilderness. Once again, the day began with a spectacular African sunrise. As the first light spread across the landscape, we set off towards Nkulu Tented Camp, where we planned to stop for a morning coffee. But as always in Kruger, you never know what might be waiting around the next bend. Not far into the drive, traffic suddenly came to a standstill, which could only mean one thing. There was something special nearby, and there it was. 2 lions, completely relaxed, lying right in the middle of the road, as if they owned it. Which, in a way, they do. Kruger delivered another unforgettable experience. As we approached a bridge, we noticed movement ahead. What followed was one of those wonderful safari moments that can't be planned. A large troop of monkeys began crossing the bridge, moving together as a family. Adults, youngsters, and tiny babies clinging tightly to their mothers, all making their way across while chattering and playing along the way. It was one of those sightings that reminds you that safari isn't only about predators and the big five. Sometimes it's these natural, unscripted moments of everyday life in the bush that leave the biggest impression. So sit back and enjoy this incredible encounter with one of Kruger's most entertaining residents. One thing that continues to amaze us on this trip is just how green Kruger is at this time of year. Every drive reveals a landscape that feels full of life. The grass is lush, the trees are vibrant, and many of the ponds and waterholes are still filled with water. It's a completely different scene from the dry season Kruger we've come to know from previous visits. The abundance of water and vegetation also seems to bring an incredible variety of bird life. Almost everywhere we look, there's something new to discover. Bright flashes of color dart through the trees, birds of prey scan the bush from above, and smaller species add a constant soundtrack to our drives. One of the things we've really enjoyed on this trip is trying to identify every bird we see. Whenever we spot a species we don't immediately recognize, out comes the Kruger guidebook. It's become a bit of a game between sightings, studying the colors, checking the markings, and trying to work out exactly what we found. And that's one of the things we love about Kruger. No matter how many times you visit, there's always something new to learn and discover. As the afternoon slowly turns into evening, we've decided to head out for one last drive to one of our favorite spots near Skukuza, Lake Panic Hide. It's hard to believe that this will be our final drive from Skukuza Rest Camp. Over the past few days, we've explored the surrounding roads, enjoyed some wonderful sightings, and settled into the rhythm of life in this part of Kruger. Skukuza has been the perfect starting point for our adventure. But tomorrow, a new chapter begins. We'll be leaving Skukuza behind and making our way to our next camp, ready to discover a different part of the park and see what new experiences await us. Before that happens, though, we're taking the time to enjoy one last peaceful evening here. Lake Panic is the perfect place to do just that. Surrounded by water, reeds, and towering trees, it's a haven for birds and wildlife, and one of the most relaxing places in the entire park. Thank you for joining us on this part of our Kruger adventure. If you enjoyed the video, we'd really appreciate it if you could support the channel by giving it a like and subscribing. And if you don't want to miss the next chapter of our adventure, make sure to turn on notifications as well. Our journey through Kruger is far from over. We hope you'll join us again for the next episode. Until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.